Hey everyone, ready to hit the road. Today we're diving deep into full-time road life. You know, that van life or RV living thing?
Oh, yeah, the dream.
Exactly. We've got tons of insights from Catherine Gregory.
Oh, I know her YouTube channel.
Yeah, she's been living it for 5 years.
Wow.
Started in truck camper, now she's in a travel trailer.
Nice.
But here's the thing, we're not just looking at the pretty Instagram side of it all.
Right, right.
Catherine's telling us what she wishes she knew before hitting the road.
Oh, that's so helpful.
Yeah, the stuff you don't see in those perfect photos.
I bet.
So first, reality check. It's way harder than you think.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Catherine says you constantly have to adapt and be master problem solver.
Makes sense when your home is on wheels, I guess.
Right, but not exactly the carefree life everyone imagines.
Definitely not.
Ugh.
You're responsible for everything, your shelter, your transportation.
It's like being a homeowner, mechanic, and travel agent all at once.
Exactly.
And she had some crazy examples like what happens when a wildfire rips through your favorite spot.
Yeah.
She was in Jasper, Canada, right before a huge fire almost wiped out the whole town.
That's scary.
Talk about a reality check.
Yeah, the romanticized vision versus the reality of, a changing world.
And it's not just natural disasters.
Right.
Think about places getting too crowded or changing because of development.
True.
It makes you realize those places we love might not always be there.
So true.
Okay, next, reality bomb. Things break.
Oh.
And I'm not talking about a little fender bender.
What happened?
I was almost laughing as she listed everything that went wrong.
Seriously.
Leaf springs on the trailer, the truck hits a random broken camper window, the water heater,
Oh my gosh.
and then, of course, the toilet decided to quit.
Sounds like a nightmare.
It's like a comedy of errors. But I bet it wasn't funny at the time.
No way.
It just shows you how important it is to have an emergency fund.
Even more than for a regular house, I'd say.
Yeah, you're not just dealing with the cost of repairs, but the stress of finding someone to fix it on the road.
That's a good point.
She had to become a DIY pro, relying on YouTube tutorials for everything.
Really?
For everything.
I mean, instrument clusters.
Wow.
It makes you wonder, does this lifestyle attract mechanically inclined people? Or does it force you to become one?
That is a good question.
Right. You're definitely pushed outside your comfort zone.
For sure.
Okay, so we've got the unpredictable nature, the constant repairs, but here's one that surprised me. Catherine calls it decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue. What's that?
It's not just about picking a hiking trail.
Right.
Imagine constantly deciding on routes, finding camping spots, managing resources.
Oh, I see.
It can be mentally exhausting.
Yeah, I bet.
It really shows how much mental energy this lifestyle takes.
Yeah.
At first, Catherine went all out, that go, go, go approach, but it led to burnout.
Oh, no.
Now she's changed things up.
What does she do now?
She stays in each place for about a month to recharge.
That's smart.
It goes against the idea of constantly moving.
Right.
But it shows how important rest and mental well-being are. You need time to process everything and make decisions when you're clear-headed, not exhausted.
Exactly. It's a different kind of freedom.
How so?
It's not just about going wherever you want, whenever you want.
Right.
It's also about the freedom to slow down, to be intentional.
That's a good point.
And speaking of intention, Catherine also struggled with keeping up routines.
Like what?
Things like her workout schedule.
Oh, yeah.
She was so used to the structure of her old 9-to-5 life.
It's funny how those routines that feel restricting in a normal setting can actually be good when everything else is changing.
Totally.
Yeah, it's like you're building a business, right? Your life on the road.
That's a great analogy.
You've got to manage resources, make strategic decisions, be agile.
And just like with any startup, there are going to be those pivot moments.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
When something breaks down or a plan falls apart and you have to think on your feet.
Absolutely. It really tests how resourceful you are.
And that can be pretty empowering.
Yeah. You learn to rely on yourself, on your problem-solving skills.
It builds a different kind of confidence, for sure.
Definitely.
Catherine actually said this lifestyle ruined her for normal life.
Really?
She can't even imagine going back to an apartment. The suburbs, that whole scene.
Wow.
It makes you think, what is it about this experience that changes your perspective so much?
It's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's being exposed to these huge landscapes, the constant reminder of nature's power.
Makes a regular life feel kind of stuffy.
Right. Or maybe it's the self-sufficiency.
Realizing you don't need a lot to be happy.
Exactly.
She did talk about wanting simplicity, a life that's more intentional.
Makes sense.
Her future plan is a tiny homestead, still with travel but more grounded.
Interesting.
Have you ever thought about that kind of lifestyle? The homesteading thing seems pretty common for a lot of full-time travelers.
It's funny, isn't it? From the open road to putting down roots.
Hmm.
Maybe it's about finding a balance. They've had all that freedom of exploration. Now they want a place to call their own.
Maybe it's the appeal of building something real. You know,
Like what?
taking care of a garden, building a home with their own two hands.
Yeah.
After years of moving around, there's something nice about that permanence.
I get that.
It's like they've explored the outer world, and now they're exploring their inner world,
Oh, I like that.
finding a deeper connection with nature, with themselves.
That definitely resonates with me.
Okay, back to Catherine's journey.
Yeah.
She's pretty open about the not-so-glamorous parts, too,
Like what?
like loneliness.
Oh, yeah.
Even someone who likes being alone can hit a wall on the road.
It's true.
It reminds you that we're social creatures.
Right.
We need connection, a sense of belonging.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Some people say solo travel actually improves their social skills.
Really?
They're more open to meeting new people, forming deeper bonds.
Because they're not relying on their usual social circles.
Exactly.
That's a good point. It forces you to be more proactive.
Put yourself out there.
Yeah, for Catherine, having a friend travel with her now has
Yep.
made a huge difference.
I bet.
It shows how important it is to find your people, your support system, even on the road.
Your tribe.
Exactly. Community is key no matter where you are.
And it doesn't have to be in a fixed place.
Right?
Online groups, nomad meetups, shared workspaces.
Oh, yeah.
There are so many ways to connect these days.
Technology definitely helps.
For sure.
But even with the challenges, Catherine says she's grown so much personally.
In what ways?
She talks about facing her fears, realizing she's way more capable than she thought.
It's amazing what happens when you push your boundaries, step outside your comfort zone.
You find hidden strengths, resilience you didn't know you had.
It's like a crash course in self-reliance.
But you also learn to ask for help when you need it.
That's important.
And her message to anyone thinking about this lifestyle:
What's that?
don't let fear stop you,
Mm-hmm.
even if it's not forever.
Right.
She was terrified to leave everything at first, but now she has zero regrets. I think a lot of people feel that the fear of the unknown holding them back.
It's so easy to get caught up in those what-if thoughts.
Totally. What if we changed our perspective, though?
How so?
What if we focused on the good stuff, the growth, the experiences that could make our lives richer?
I like that.
Catherine's story reminds us that sometimes our biggest regrets are the things we didn't do.
That's deep.
And her number one takeaway:
Let me guess. Stay organized.
stay calm in the chaos.
Oh, that's good.
Which, when your home has wheels and things are always breaking and the weather's unpredictable, seems like pretty solid advice.
It's like that Zen mentality, right?
Yeah,
Focusing on what you can control, letting go of everything else.
finding those moments of peace in the middle of all the uncertainty.
It's a skill that goes beyond the road, applies to life in general.
Totally. So that we've got the challenges, the unexpected breakdowns, the loneliness,
Right.
but we also have this amazing personal growth, the freedom, the adventure.
It's complicated.
Not for everyone, but for some, it's life-changing.
And even if you're not packing your bags tomorrow,
Yeah.
I think there are things we can all learn from this.
Like what?
The importance of being adaptable, resourceful, solving problems on the spot
Those are useful skills no matter what.
in any job, any relationship, any part of life.
It's about being open to the unexpected, finding the good in the tough times.
Approaching life with a sense of curiosity and adventure?
Exactly. Makes you wonder if there are other connections we can make from Catherine's experience.
Like what?
Like, is there a link between this full-time road life and, say, the mindset of an entrepreneur?
Ooh, that's interesting. You know, there are actually a lot of similarities.
Really?
Yeah, both full-time travelers and entrepreneurs have to be okay with risk and uncertainty.
Makes sense.
They're always adapting to new situations, making decisions with limited information, and changing course when things don't go as planned.
It's like they're both running their own show, right?
Exactly.
Managing resources, troubleshooting problems, always on the lookout for new opportunities.
Yeah, and both need a certain level of self-belief, that conviction that you can figure things out even when facing the unknown.
Like Catherine, she didn't let fear stop her.
Right. She jumped in, learned as she went, and built a life that reflects what's important to her.
It's inspiring to see someone embrace that leap and the net will appear. Philosophy.
He really is.
And it sounds like staying calm amidst the chaos is key.
Absolutely.
Not letting the breakdowns, the detours, the unexpected stuff throw you off track.
It's that resilience, that ability to bounce back that's so important.
And it's not just about pushing through it.
No, it's about finding ways to handle stress, stay positive, see challenges as chances to grow.
Maybe that's part of what attracts people to both entrepreneurship and this nomadic lifestyle.
What do you mean?
That constant learning, pushing boundaries, discovering hidden potential.
There's definitely a sense of adventure in both a willingness to step outside your comfort zone and embrace the unknown.
And let's be real, there's something romantic about it
Oh
all.
yeah, for sure.
The open road, the freedom to choose your own path, the allure of a life less ordinary,
But it's not about escaping reality.
right?
It's about engaging with reality in a more direct, hands-on way.
And that's where the real change happens, I think.
It strips away the unnecessary stuff, forces you to face your fears, and ultimately, I believe, leads to a deeper understanding of yourself and what truly matters.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the realities of full-time road life, what are the main takeaways for our listeners?
What can they learn from Catherine's experience, even if they're not trading their house for a van anytime soon?
Well, first of all, I think it reminds us that we have more control over our lives than we often think.
We can choose to break free from the traditional path to create a life that reflects our values, our passions, our own definition of freedom.
It's about challenging those, I could never do that, thoughts that hold us back.
Catherine's story shows that with a bit of courage and a lot of determination, anything is possible.
And even if a nomadic lifestyle isn't for you, there are valuable lessons to learn from this mindset.
Like what?
The importance of adaptability, resourcefulness, problem-solving on the fly.
Those are skills that are useful in any career, any relationship, any part of life.
It's about embracing the unexpected, finding the good in the tough times, and approaching life with a sense of curiosity and adventure.
Exactly. And never underestimate the power of community, of finding your people, whether it's online or on the open road.
We all need support connection, a sense of belonging.
For sure.
Catherine's story has given me a lot to think about.
Me too.
It's made me re-examine my own priorities, my definition of success, my vision for the future.
It's a reminder that life is a journey, not a destination.
And sometimes the most fulfilling paths are the ones we create ourselves.
So true.
So to our listeners, we encourage you to embrace your inner nomad, even if it's just in spirit.
Explore new ideas, challenge your assumptions, and don't be afraid to take a detour from the well-worn path.
Who knows what amazing discoveries await you?
And if you ever feel like diving deep into a new topic, a different perspective, you know where to find us.
We're always here, ready to hit the road of knowledge with you.
Thanks for joining us on this adventure. Safe travels, everyone.